What's up, everybody? How's it going? Austin Prechtel, Prechtel Elevate Performance, coming at you live. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're having an amazing freaking Tuesday. So, today we're going to be talking about the concept of why you should, more often than not, say, fuck the scale. Because a lot of times, a lot of people let the scale dictate their worth, dictate how they see themselves. And at the end of the day, the scale is just a number. So I'm going to be talking about this a little bit. And so my question is, so as you guys are tuning in, as you guys are watching this, I want you to let me know, do you at times let the scale dictate your worth? Do you associate your value with a number on the scale? Because if you do, one, you're not alone. By any means, you're not alone. A lot of people do this. And so I'm going to be talking about why the scale, although, just to preface, is a valuable factor and can be an indicator and can be like very useful data-wise and like trying to structure plans and things like that. It is important. It's not the end all be all, and it's definitely like there's so many other things that are way more important when it comes to your fitness journey than that number on that thing that you step on every other day probably. So just to talk about it, so like when it comes to your value and in terms of like how you associate your value with yourself, a lot of times people struggle with this, and a lot of times the scale ends up screwing people up on their fitness journey, and it does, and it's unfortunate that that happens, but I want to talk about a little bit here as to why I want you guys to start to break that, like, I guess, trend, or break that mindset, like, barrier that a lot of people struggle with. So start to work on breaking that down and like deconstructing that, because I think that it's way more important, and I try to get my clients to focus on this a lot too. It's way more important to focus on non-scale victories. And so what do I mean by non-scale victories? Well, victories that aren't associated with that number on the scale. Things like body recomp. I'm going to talk about that more specifically here in a second. Body recomp. Things like, how are you feeling? Like, are you happier? How is your mood? Like, do you feel like you're more energetic? Do you feel like, physically more capable? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel like you have more self-respect for yourself, or like more confidence, like more self-confidence? Like, do you like the way that you look in the mirror more now? Like, those things are way more important than just a number. And so focusing on those things can not only keep you in positive momentum and keep you from falling out of that momentum and getting into a negative headspace from from looking at the scale. Because oftentimes, if you're watching this right now, like, have you ever woken up one morning after you've been working your ass off, like working out like crazy, and you ended up going and stepping on the scale, and when you stepped on the scale, it didn't say what you wanted it to say, right? It didn't say what you wanted it to say, and it showed a number that made you feel like you screwed up, or that you failed that week, or that you didn't do a good job. And because you didn't feel like you did a good job, you ended up saying, what's the point? And you fell off the wagon, or you ate bad that day, or maybe you didn't do your workout, or maybe you got depressed because of it, and then you stayed in bed all day, right? And so getting away from associating your worth and your value from a number on the scale will not only help you actually reach your goals faster, because you're not going to end up, quitting or getting thrown off the wagon. You're also going to be happier, because you're going to be celebrating these non-scale victories, because you're going to actually be seeing like real change in your body. So like my thing is with that is, like, why do we hold so much value? Why do we value, like, the number on the scale so much, when you know one version of you could be, let's just say like 150 pounds. Like, you're 150 pounds. Okay, well, 150 pounds on somebody who doesn't eat properly and doesn't strength train, versus somebody who has been strength training and building muscle and getting stronger and things like that, are the same weight, but one person can look totally different than this person at that same weight. and even not even comparing different people, but that same person, oftentimes will, if you right now, if you've gone through a fitness journey, if you've gone through a transformation, you might, this might resonate a little bit because, like, there have been times, like, as you start to build muscle and as you start to get stronger and you start to recomp your body, you're gonna look different at different weights. You're gonna look different at different, like, at different body compositions. And so doing focusing on these non-scale victories is a really great way to, feel like you're making progress even if the scale is being a dick, basically. And so, and a lot of times too, the scale, and I've talked about this in the past, like, a lot of times the scale will say that you're not making progress even though you're definitely making progress because body recomp's going, or maybe, you had some excess water and it caused, like, your hydration to fluctuate, or maybe you had, a big meal the night before, or whatever it may be. And so the scale can be deceiving. And so that's why I like to focus on non-scale victories with a lot of my clients. A lot of my clients that I work with right now, like, that, like, yeah, it feels really fucking good to see the scale go in the direction that you want. But a lot of my clients right now, like, that I'm working with, like, they're starting to learn and work on their mindset side of things to, not let the scale hold so much weight, not let the scale hold so much power over them and how they view their fitness journey. They're doing the things that they know will get them to where they want to be. And by focusing on the non-scale victories, like how they're looking, how they're feeling, how strong they're feeling, how empowered they're feeling, like their confidence, things like that. That's going to take them a lot further than somebody who's just solely focusing on a number on the scale, because you're going to get, like, disappointed. You're going to get, if you do that, you're going to get disappointed. You're going to get yourself into a weird headspace, and you're going to have a harder time than somebody who's enjoying the process and trusting the process and focusing on, what they have to do that day, and not, they're not counting the reps necessarily. They're just putting in the work. And so yeah. So that's for that. And so that's why I challenge you guys, if you're watching this right now and you're somebody who always, like, wakes up in the morning and you check the scale, you weigh yourself, and then if it says something that you like, you're, super happy, but if it says something that you don't like, then it ruins your whole fucking day. Start to focus on non-scale victories. Start to focus on, not letting that scale hold as much weight or power over you, and you're going to see you're going to be way more likely to succeed, because you're not going to constantly get thrown off every time something doesn't look how you want it to look, when you're probably just bloated, or you're probably just you have food, or, like, you're full of crap, or whatever it may be. Like these are the things that you guys need to be, focusing on when it comes to having a sustainable fitness journey, when it comes to having a healthy relationship with the scale, with yourself, with your, self-worth. These are just the things that you guys need to pay attention to. So yeah, like, and that's not to say, again, that the scale isn't important. Like, the scale can help and it is of value, but maybe instead of weighing yourself every day, weigh yourself once a week. I have my clients weigh themselves at least once a week, just so we can keep track of things and make sure things are going in the right direction. But by maybe twice a week most. Some people probably, would benefit from weighing themselves maybe even less than that. Maybe once every 2 weeks. Just as long as they know what that they're doing is on, like, they have a good solid plan. Like, that's what's most important, is that you're following a solid plan, and then you can use the number on the scale as just, like, data points to keep track of things, rather than it being what how you value yourself. So that's pretty much all I want to talk about today. Like, and body recomp, and I was going to mention this, like, body recomp is so freaking important. Like, I cannot tell you how many people I've worked with that look and feel and tell me that they like the way that they look and feel better, because even though might have only lost, like, a couple pounds or 5 pounds or whatever it may be. It's one of those things that body recomp is a real fucking thing, and you are going to build muscle, you're going to build strength, and in the process of doing that, you're going to also, be shifting from a higher body fat percentage to a lower body fat percentage. So, and a lot of times too, whenever people start to lose weight, or they start a fitness journey and they incorporate strength training, you kind of have, like, this stalemate thing going on. And I talk about this a lot, where you lose weight in the form of body fat. So your body fat percentage is going down, so your weight's going down. It's causing, like, a downward trend. But you're also building strength and building muscle, and so in doing so, you're going to be potentially having some body recomp going on where you're going to kind of gain weight maybe potentially in that direction. So you get this kind of stalemate effect. And a lot of times at the beginning, whenever you're getting those new, like those noob gains or whatever, because you're doing something new with strength training in a different way than you might have in the past, you're not going to like oftentimes for like maybe even the first couple of weeks to a month as you're getting dialed in with your fitness journey, you might not see that much change on the scale. But you're going to see a hell of a lot of difference, and you're going to feel a hell of a lot of difference um, when you look at yourself in the mirror or whenever you go and work out. Like you're going to feel a lot better. And at the end of the day, like who the fuck cares if the number says, you know, a specific number? Like who fucking cares? If you feel good and you like the way that you look and you're happy and you're healthy, like that's all that fucking matters, right? That's like the goal, right? Like you don't have to hit a specific number to look or feel a specific way about yourself. So that's my life for today. That's all I wanted to talk about, guys, is just, you know, stop giving so much power to the scale over you, because at the end of the day, like that number doesn't matter. That number it does not matter as long as you're healthy, as long as you're happy, as long as you're, you know, making progress towards your goal of whatever it may be. You don't have to hit a number to you know, to see the benefits of it. So, yep. And as I'm about to sign off here, if you got value from this, let me know. Do hashtag replay. Let me know if you saw this at a later time. Let me know what your number one takeaway was from this live. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you think somebody would get value from this, feel free to share it with them. And I have a big announcement coming tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm officially announcing it tomorrow. I'm super fucking excited about it. If you're my client, you already know what it is. But going to be officially launching something tomorrow, and it's going to be pretty fucking cool. So feel free to try and guess in the comments too, if you'd like. Yeah. So Pam says, oh, I see Pam. She says, even though I'm shooting to lose 10 pounds, I'm not paying too much attention to the scale. I look at my body and go off that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like that is so freaking important. Who care, like anybody who's doing like a show or anything like that, like unless you're trying to be in a certain like weight category or whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Like it doesn't matter as long as you look fucking good. They're not picking the person who weighs the least amount or who weighs the most amount. Like they're picking the person for instance for like a show or something like that. Like they're picking the person who has the most defined look for whatever, you know, whatever thing that you're doing. So Pam says podcast. I am actually going to be launching a podcast in the future. So that's a good guess. That's not what I'm talking about, but I think you already know what I'm talking about, Pam. So, but yeah, so going to be officially launching something tomorrow, guys. I'm really fucking excited. I've spent a lot of time on it for the past couple of weeks, and it's gonna be cool. So, other than that, though, focus on non-scale victories, and you're going to be a lot happier. You're going to have a lot more success with your fitness journey because you're not going to beat yourself up and end up setting yourself back because the scale made you feel bad about yourself. So, yep, that's the live for today. Have a great one, everybody, and I'm going to talk to you guys later.